All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are multiple mediums on which you can access this information. And in my opinion, the best way is the blog. myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. I know that's a lot to either remember or type in. So wherever you are enjoying this content, look for a more open info intro, whatever, something of that nature. Activate it. Another box will open. It'll have a link directly to the free blog where you don't even have to put in your email. And there's other information. Usually I put rss.com, the link there, because that has a transcript, a very good transcript, and it's free. And then other stuff, more information. Okay, so last episode just cut off abruptly. It may happen to this one too. My disk is full. And I'm deleting stuff left and right, but whatever. So, I used to have one of those stick thingies, the stick thing, joint kick, the little thing you put in the USB port. So I have to find that. I'm sure I still have it. I just have to find it. And then I'll just save new episodes or whatever to that thing. I know the name of it, but it's just not coming to me. All right. It was Juneteenth here in America today. Um, all right. Oh, okay. So let's see. Spotify.com, right? So everywhere that I post, most everywhere that I post as my FX Buddies, right? So if you want to do an internet search, you could put that. And thank you for liking. Liking seems to be more important than subscribing now. They've changed some things, so definitely appreciate when you like. Thank you for supporters. And yeah, okay. So I think I got all that stuff in. So let's start off with some sad news. We lost 3 that they're telling us about, okay? 3 service workers. Oh, this isn't supposed to be playing. Let me see if I start it over. Well, his picture was here, but here's his name, Staff Sergeant Saul Fabian Gonzalez. He has passed in a non-combat incident. I don't believe that. I mean, I know they say that, and he's in Iraq. He was in Iraq. Jeez, get to his picture. Oh, see y'all. I had it there. Nope, that's not him either. There he is. Look, so cute. So handsome. Bless his heart. So that's one. That's one that's gone. And 2, I don't have their pictures. I don't think they've put their names out yet. So 2 left us separate non-combat incidents, one in Iraq and one in Kuwait. So there's 3 that they're telling us about. And one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite groups is Zach Brown Band, and they have a song called Chicken Fried, I think that's what it's called. But in there, they say, "Thank God for my life, thank God for the stars and stripes," and a couple of other verses, and then they say, "Salute the ones who died." So that's how and pray for, I know I say our military, but all military everywhere, right? Because everybody's crazy nowadays. All right. Okay, so that's that. Thank you for letting me do that. Hopefully you don't get upset. Pray for the family. It's hard. It's hard. Now, I've never been, But I prayed for military wives and children, and it's not an easy life. Oh, come on, man. I have this issue, don't I? I always got some kind of issue. Now, see, I have to sit still once I get it back. All right, hopefully we're there. We're good? All right. So, it is Thursday, June 19th, and we have a lot, right? So, I'm going to cover some articles. There's a lot of articles, and then I'm just going to give you like a summary, okay? Because the stuff that I want to tell you, I can't say, so it will be the coded portion, and I can't show you the images either, right? But okay, so the budget includes next Saturday's Parliament session. Now that doesn't make any sense, does it? But I told you I don't mess with these articles. That's how the title came out. That's how you're gonna get it, like that. So let's see. Why is this not moving? Ay, ay, ay. All right. So yep, this guy, parliamentary member Mohammed Al-Ziyadi, he says we're coming back Saturday. We're going to have a special session and we're covering things that are important, including voting on the 2025 budget schedules. Now, this may be possible, and let me tell you why it may be possible. Because they just put out an article, yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day before? Saying, pointing the finger of blame of the manipulator for 2024. So maybe they were working on 2024 as well as 2025, and maybe it is going to happen. It would be lovely, and I'll be watching, so we'll see. And then here's a different article, same guy, but look, it's a little longer, so it has a few more words in it. Talks about one of the laws that's important to them that's not really important to us. So yeah. So hopefully. All right. Now I like this too. Iraq's payments leader Key or Q KI taps K2 integrity for nationwide financial compliance overhaul. Now, if that key card doesn't sound familiar to you, it was one of the first, if not the first, card that was made available to the people, digital payment. And in the beginning, it was so corrupt. They were stealing so much money. And it wasn't, they couldn't find them, right? Because there wasn't all the digital systems that there are now. But they did. This has been around so long. It's been here since 2007. One guy did 7 years in jail. He got out. They hired him back. Now, how smart is that? But also, it wasn't too bad, right? Because now they have everything's transparent. Um, you know, and then now they're taking another step, adding, connecting with the K2 people so they can be audited. So they're going to build excellence in compliance. As Iraq rebuilds its post aggressive maneuver economy and opens up more to international markets, its digital payments ecosystem has faced concerns over outdated compliance and transparency, putting a brake on investments from foreign investors, cooperation with international institutions, and overall trust in the state of the financial transactions landscape. The trust is fragile, blah, 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 right? Poor performance, corruption. So now, transformation for the better, well positioned to pick up the gauntlet. The International Smart Card, which owns and operates the Key Card platform, has now taken the initiative to adopt a model of excellence for compliance. The multi-year program will span the company's full operations in Iraq, but also in Jordan and the UAE. Yep, and they're smart cards now. When they first came out, I mean, any card that has that chip on it, right, is considered a smart card. But they do so much more now than when they first came out, right? So yeah, that is happening. I think that's a good thing. And here's the last paragraph. Key, Q, whatever, is setting the tone for a new era in Iraq. And Chip Ponce, global head of financial integrity at K2 Integrity, by committing to global standards and transparency, Key, or Q, is building not just resilience, but regional leadership in financial compliance. And that is Chip Ponce. All right, so USPS, United States Postal Service, to temporarily halt mail service to Iraq and its neighbor and ice cream land because of all the stuff that's going on. So if you want to read that, but hopefully you don't have family there, or if they are there, they're safe, right? A new challenge for the Iron Dome. Multiple war. Okay. So let me find a way to say this. Kablooey projectiles don't just have one tip that combusts. It has multiple. Okay. So that's getting through. They're getting through the Iron Dome. And there's evidence. There's evidence of it. But guess what? You won't see it on Western TV because Ice Cream Land has shut down a lot of the publications, taking people's phones if they're caught filming damage that's been done. Yeah. So the only way you're going to see this is, well, I was going to say if you listen to me, but you're not even going to see it if you listen to me. I can tell you about it, but I'm not going to show you about it. But yeah, so see, that is a pretty damaged building. All right, so that was before. But yeah, so it came out today. The Army said on Thursday that the neighbor. Okay, so here's the code. If you've been listening to me, you know what Ice Cream Land is, right? It's the country that BB runs for now. And the neighbor is Iraq's neighbor, that their name is very similar to theirs, but it ends with an N instead of a Q. All right? So take notes. Sorry, but in this day and age of living in a free society with freedom of speech, we have to talk like that. Okay? All right. So if you want to read that, you can. I know there's people who like to read about stuff like that. So the neighbor's parliament speaker came out and said our projectiles, our kablooies, can reach every inch of the entity despite U.S. support. All right, so then you can read about that. Now here's the other H people. The Bala, their brigades threaten the U.S. president with targeting U.S. bases and closing the Strait of Hormuz. So it even yesterday, Wednesday, on Bloomberg, they were saying, well, they're saying they're going to close the Strait of Hormuz, and what will that do? And not just oil, but everything. So that was talk yesterday, and then more talk today. So the other H people, ooh, the ooh, right? Um, they had already said, oh, oh, this is what we're doing now? Okay. Nobody's going through. Sorry, you're my brother, but guess what? We're shutting you out too, right? So now there's the other, so that's two. Who's the third H people? I can't remember, but there's three groups that start with H that help the neighbor. All right, here's like a report of economic, where they are now, where they could be, the repercussions of aggressive maneuvers, and the lack of planning are fueling economic stagnation in Iraq. So they're talking about recession, and now there's just as it says citizens' tendency to hoard cash in case of emergency leads to weak consumption and a lack of confidence in the local currency, according to observers and citizens. So this is a longer article. They are thankful for those hypermarkets, the markets where the prices are subsidized, but like I said, not everyone can get there. They don't have them throughout the whole country, but the people who can go there, they like to go there. So their speculation in the dollar is rising. Oh yes, the dollar is 1440. 1440, and there it is 1457 in some places. So the best value that I could find for the parallel market is 1440 dinars per dollar, and that was Thursday evening at the close. So if you want to read this, you can. They do talk about they were making a shift toward demand. They were making a shift towards the cashless, right? But that will have another negative impact on the dinar in terms of a loss of confidence in the local currency and a shift toward demand for dollars in the parallel market, which will in turn drive up the exchange rate and lead to higher prices for goods and services imported through that guy's market, right? So they talked to some other people. I like this article because look, they're talking about the dinar again. It's not saying the local currency, it's saying the dinar. And I like that because that's what they should be using. And here they talk about a sense of financial instability has become prevalent among broad segments of society in light of the worsening economic crisis and the decline in citizens' purchasing power. That's not what we want to hear, right? Okay, so see, there's more. So I told you it was long, but if you want to hear the people, the citizens, how they feel and what they're going through, see here, citizen Najat Abdullah shares his view. So it's good. It's a good read. I know. I'm a nerd like that. And here's Buy Me a Coffee. That'll be a live link when this preview is done. And my Cash App, $ T as in Tom, I, S as in Sam, H, W, A, S as in Sam, H, which is Tishwash, $ Tishwash. I reply with the praise hands, big or small. I appreciate it all. And that's a QR code for Buy Me a Coffee. Okay, this article was good. It was almost going to be the lead article, but government advisor, foreign exchange reserves are the highest in Iraq's history. And I like that image too. For those who can't see it, it has the Iraqi flag, but it has a stack of dollars, which should be dinars, and an image of the CBI building, and then like a arrow of like a stock market going up, down, and then straight up. So that it is Muhammad Saleh, and he comes out and he talks about admittedly, while the Gulf and the passage of oil and gas through the Strait of Hormuz represent approximately 30% of the flow of energy from its sources to the world, 99% of Iraq's oil is currently exported through the Gulf, and the aforementioned straight to world markets, especially the economies and markets of Asia. So, you'll see if we get to it. And remember, Germany had already called, what did he call? Germany called I think Sadani, and was like, yeah, so what are you doing? Because we can't afford $300 a barrel of gas, oil, whatever, right? They were the first ones that I saw in the news asking, how are we going to de-escalate? What are you doing to get this down, right? And so then as time has gone by, now Britain is saying, hey, you need dialogue. We need to de-escalate. But now to our side, because I hear so much stuff about what gets to the president and what doesn't get to the president. So, and breaking news today, right? That it was all over the place. The U.S. president says, okay, I'll give it 2 more weeks. So hold that in the front right part of your brain. I think there was one more money article. So, and this is good for the citizens. If they read this, he's explaining, what happens to oil globally is out of our control, but everything else that we're doing, the reserves, the gold, working on sustainable development, economic stability, all of that, right? Yeah, so good. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is not really a money article. This is more like another human interest, I think is what they call it. Iranians buying supplies in Iraq tell of fear shortages back home. And I don't know why this font, it gave me such a hard time. I just left it how it is. So they needed rice, sugar, and tea, staples that have become increasingly hard to get back home. So, yeah. And they they all refused to be shown on camera, but they were more than willing to talk. The shortages of bread and sugar. One guy was 40 years old. There's long queues of cars waiting in front of gas stations. Yeah, panic buying. Um, Here's at least 224 people are no longer with them, right? And here's another person calling his wife shocked and distraught. Yeah, so if you want to read that, then you'll appreciate living where you live. I know I do. So this was some kind of seminar or conference. Let's see, the Minister of Oil. He was talking to, I'm not sure, but look at all these people that were here. The Minister of Oil and Gas Affairs, Second Liquefied Natural Gas Forum. That's what it was. But the key point, it says, the gas sector receives exceptional attention from the Prime Minister. So, and it only seems 2 companies have sent their people home, or not even home, but Kuwait. They sent them to Kuwait and Jordan, and they shut down, but only 2 so far. So it's not good, but it's not all of them, right? So the Central Bank of Iraq organized a workshop on national and sector assessment procedures. But the thing about this, it was in Erbil. Look at that. So they're getting training in Erbil. So I like that. So they'll all be on the same. And there's pictures if you want to see those pictures. Oh, I put that long article there twice. Maybe I'll try to go back and delete that one. We're almost done, I believe. Oh, yeah, so here's another report. U.S. statement on the Strait of Hormuz, Iran, oh, well, I just said it, may paralyze the U.S. Navy. So, sorry, I mean, that's the image that was there, but if you get the New York Times, this image is in the New York Times, I think in English. But, so I'm hoping someone got these reports and said, look, they're not joking. They're gonna do this. They're already messing with the boats. They're jamming the GPS machines and they're bumping into each other and igniting. So it's no joke. You keep acting like you're gonna get in with Ice Cream Land, and this is what they're gonna do, and they have a domino effect of how it will. I mean, some of them have even gone out and they're like, and then you're gonna lose the midterms, and then you're gonna ruin your reputation. They have really gone down all the way down to, and then the other party's gonna be in power the next election. I'm like, oh boy, they're really trying to tell, uh, you know, the president, because a lot of the base is upset. If you listen to people, um, like on YouTube, not the news, because you're not gonna. Well, I don't know. You might hear that on the news, but um, yeah, there's some who are for that, but that they'd be for anything, which is just crazy. Um, so now tap the front right side, right? When I said put a pause on Britain, there is a golden opportunity to resolve the crisis with the neighbor diplomatically. So, and this came out right before the lady, Miss Lovett. I know that's not her name, but that's how I remember her name. Right before she came out, that came out. So I do believe there's talking going on, and hopefully more than one side, right? And I think there's some divine intervention, because I know 3 groups who are praying and fasting. I'm not a good faster. I can pray, but yeah, I don't have the willpower to fast. But anyway, over all the world leaders, right? All these conflicts, issues, whatever words you want to use, that they would de-escalate peacefully, right? Okay, but this is when I heard the 2 weeks, I text someone that I confer with on these matters. So that means kablooies are falling this week, right? This weekend, right? But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully not. Because so they are getting through. They even hit a hospital. I don't think they meant to hit the hospital, but they did. And there's even um other. So there's another guy that I watch. He's not on YouTube. He has his own, because the stuff that he talks about. Matter of fact, he got kicked off of YouTube and everything before Mr. Jones, if you know who Mr. Jones is. This guy got kicked off of all the sites before he did. He has footage of some Chinese workers of some sort in the ocean, and they're filming um, the kablooies as they're going up, and they film them as they're leaving the neighbor and going into Ice Cream Land. And then there's some he has some footage of some Indian people, not, the ones that speak like Punjab, um, doing the same thing. So they are getting through, they are causing damage. Uh, the scuttlebutt or whatever is Ice Cream Land only has 7 to 10 days left of the munitions or whatever that fuel the defense shield, but it's not working anyway, especially with these new multi-head project that combust. That really confuses that defense system, and maybe the first one gets intercepted, but then others come. We're up to the 14th wave, and each wave has 3 waves. So they're getting through, and I do feel bad for the people, because I think it's relatively new for Iranians to experience damage like that too, right? It's new. It's definitely, well, kind of. But for the people who are living in ice cream land now, it's definitely new. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, now here's an interesting article. So this is it. This is the last thing. Uh, the neighbor orders crypto exchange curfew after $100 million no bid X hack. So this is an article from Cointelegraph. One of the crypto exchanges, got hacked in Iran. So I put that's the last article. For some reason, the images didn't come. But no BitX hackers burned the stolen crypto. And they have some images here that if you follow this stuff, you'll know what they are. So yeah, if you want to read that, it's at the blog, and it's all the way down at the bottom. So you wouldn't have to look through everything else. You could just scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you could read that. All right? Because I don't follow it. I used to, but now my focus more is on this, right? So thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful. So tomorrow's Friday. I may not post. I can't imagine there'll be anything. I mean, it's just they're going to keep going at each other back and forth, I guess, for 2 weeks, right? Or until someone runs out of kablooies. But I can't imagine anyone running out. It would be nice, right? Wouldn't it be nice if someone did? But I'll have my eye on things, and I'll report things that I think are worthy of reporting. All right. So again, thank you. Like, subscribe, join, follow. Thank you for the comments. We'll have one day of work and then another weekend. Yeah, so we'll see. All right. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until next time.